Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio. It's Monday. I am so glad you are joining me. A little bit different of a format that we're trying out. We took your advice. We took your constructive criticism about commercials. Well, that's how we fund the Naturally Inspired movement, of course, is we have radio partners. We connect people to real solutions for health through products, through all kinds of different solutions. But we understand people, they don't want to listen to commercials all the time. So what we've decided to do is take a bunch of them out. We're going to have brief commercials. And so this is the first time we're doing it. So hopefully it goes smoothly. So stick with me and appreciate your patience because it's going to be a little bit different for my brain today. But I know there's no lack of things to talk about. I have so much to share with you today. Whew, we got some major changes happening. I can kind of feel them. And there's been a couple of, pretty influential people that are signaling they feel it too. So, today I want to talk about culture shaping at the top of the show and what's happening with censorship. I think we're going to start to see some very different things. And so I've got a few things to share with you on that. and what is happening around censorship and what is happening with a lot of things, when it comes to this, are you on the left or are you on the right? It is absolutely crucial that we figure out what's really going on here before we kind of lose any ability to unify and claim our freedom. So we're going to talk about that. Also, the Albanians have appointed a AI minister to their government. You heard me right. So like a chatbot, an actual AI is going to be now one of their ministers. I told you this was coming. Technocracy. It's at play, and it's going to be happening worldwide in a lot of different places. So we'll be talking about that. The World Economic Forum. I've got a great clip for you that explains programmable currency. So this will be something that you can use, that you can talk to other people about, because, we already have digital currency. I mean, don't you do all your banking online anyway? Those people? Stay tuned, because you're going to be able to explain exactly what programmable currency means for freedom and so many other things. Kevin McCarran, he has been a researcher that has been talking a lot about the COVID injections. And he's done a wonderful interview with Cheryl Atkinson. And I've got a clip to share with you about that. A little alarming, that's for sure. Well, actually, a lot alarming, I would say. Our health topic today is simple fixes for everyday issues. And our naturally inspired moment, of course, you're not going to want to miss. So let's get going with today's culture topic, the daily topic. Last week, I played for you some stuff that Hillary Clinton had been promoting about censorship. We now know that Chelsea Clinton is going to get into the podcast space to stop misinformation on health. Well, let me tell you, I think it's going to get a whole lot uglier when it comes to censorship. And I think a lot of people are feeling that. I want to share with you a little clip here that, I was kind of surprised actually that Russell Brand made this announcement. So take a listen.
So I'm going to take some time off and think about what to do next. I feel like, me, my ego will drag me back in front of a camera before too long. You know what I'm like. I'm going to take this opportunity to cultivate a deeper relationship with God, to reflect on what's happening in this culture, and to see how, what they say is where what you have to offer meets what the world needs. And if I have nothing to offer that the world needs, then that will take care of itself, won't it? I'll just maybe get a little cabin somewhere and be with my beautiful, beautiful children. Anyway, so I'm going to take some time off. We'll see. If the world needs my voice, it will find a way of getting it. Well, it's not like who knows, it might not be a long break. I'm going to have a little break. I'm going to have a little break and continue and pray, because, it can't just be sort of this continual futile squabble.
I relate to that in some regard. If you don't have anything to say that you think will help people, why do we keep talking? It is so freaking loud out here. It is so loud online. Everybody's got something to say about something, and it just seems like there's so much noise. And he wasn't the only one that impacted me this morning as I was getting ready for the show. Ben Joseph Stewart, is a great filmmaker, a friend of Naturally Inspired. I've interviewed him a couple times. He did a video kind of like echoing the similar sentiment this morning. And it's because he's getting pressure on what's your opinion on Israel, right? What's your opinion on Israel? Now, Ben's a filmmaker. He's an artist. And, I actually never quite seen him in this form where he just said, he was almost a little bit annoyed, right? why are you pressuring me for my opinion on this? Like, you have to choose a side on this issue. And he's just simply saying, like, I'm an artist. I'm going to express. I'm going to make art. I don't feel like I need to weigh in on this issue. And I can kind of relate to that because just because you are anti something doesn't automatically make you pro its adversary. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are anti, if you are anti Israel being able to influence and control the narrative that happens in the United States via media or via government APAC, influencing through dollars, through our politicians, does that automatically make you pro-Islam? That's the way people seem to want to make it. And that's not the way critical thinking works. And so you feel pressured because people, well, where are you on this? And it's not just that issue, but I know that's the issue he's talking about, right? Because people are kind of trying to force him to weigh in on that. And it's like, well, what do you do? No, I don't want a foreign government paying my politicians so that they vote in a way that benefits a foreign land. I don't want that. But that certainly doesn't make me pro-Islam. It doesn't make me pro-Israelis adversaries. And we have to get out of this binary way of thinking. Because let me tell you, the powers that be that really influence what's happening in our country, they don't play left or right. They don't play left or right. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about Larry Ellison and how much media he is buying up currently. He is buying up all of these media outlets, him and his family. And he is clearly in the lane of running the AI race. He wants to be the first person to cross that finish line. And Larry Ellison is very competitive to the point of, I was watching some biographies on him, and to the point of he will forgo the product itself just to be first. So in previous years, he may not even have had that software, but he would sell it anyway, and he would be, developing it, and he'd sell it before it was even developed and even knew it worked, because Larry is all about being first, period. And so with a man like that in charge of our narratives in the country through our media outlets, and his thirst to be first in AI, not necessarily a great combination, not a great formula for success for us, right? So it's much more nuanced. And so I relate to what Russell Brand is saying here. Is like, can you express yourself in a way that adds to the conversation and doesn't just muddy it more? And if you can't, then you probably shouldn't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you probably shouldn't just try to talk about it. If you don't truly understand the nuance of it, it's very hard to express yourself in a way that helps, that contributes. And I think that's where Russell Brand might find himself right now. Like, because you're not clearly on this side. See, these people who take money, who get $7,000 a post or, get paid to influence, their mission's clear. They already know what they are supposed to say. It's being bought and paid for. So it's not hard for them to communicate because they already know what the agenda is. But if you're a normal human being living in this world today, there is so much nuance going on. You got to be taking your time to critically think out your ideas, let alone express them in public. It's a lot more difficult because these issues, it's not about left or right. It's about how are you and I going to fare the storm together and get the best result. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Did you know that nearly 70% of Americans struggle with their health every single day? That's why we are reaching out to health professionals and to anyone who simply has a heart for helping people. Right now, there's an opportunity to make a real difference in people's lives while building a flexible income stream for yourself. Whether you're already working in health, wellness, or just passionate about seeing people thrive, we want to connect with you and introduce you to our system. Together, we can provide real solutions that empower people to take control of their health and create lasting impact. If you've been looking for a way to combine purpose with income, this is it. Visit simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. That's simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. We look forward to working with you.
Naturally Inspired Radio is on over 100 video, podcast, and social media platforms. All you got to do is search on your favorite platform for Tammy Cuthbert Garcia or Naturally Inspired Radio. Help us reach more people by liking our posts, following our channels, leave a comment, share the show with somebody. And don't forget, you can always visit naturallyinspiredradio.com for an updated list of where we are featured online and on radio. I don't know what's got my throat a little tickled here, but definitely got a little tickle in my throat, so excuse me. Anyway, I'm going to try again to kind of explain what I'm talking about when it comes to this issue of censorship and of adding to the conversation in the public sphere. Difficult thing to do. I face it all the time. It's like, am I going to add something meaningful to the conversation? When it feels like you get online and everybody is screaming at one another and everybody's, trying their best to be heard. I heard something today when I was doing some studying, where this guy described the economy now that we live in as the attention economy. We're not living in, a value economy, where whatever we are presenting to the marketplace is valuable. We're living in an attention economy, meaning who can capture your attention. And we're up against like a beast, because we have manipulation of algorithms. We have people who own distribution, people like Larry Ellison, who has now signed on to, purchase TikTok. We have government influence on information, the back doors of, Twitter, getting into the back doors of Twitter or getting, control over social media platforms. So it's very controlled. Information is very controlled. And my concern is that we're headed into a place where it's going to get even more controlled. Podcasts like this little radio show will cease to exist, and nobody will know they're gone. Nobody will know they're gone because we'll be swallowed up into the algorithm, and they just will cease to be accessible. We already face a lot of that right now. I mean, we've been censored off YouTube. We've been censored off all kinds of places. So we already face that right now, but I'm concerned that it's going to get even worse. And so is Ian Carroll. Take a listen to Ian here.
Right now, Larry Ellison is on a media rampage. He's buying TikTok. He got Paramount. He got CBS. He put Barry Weiss in charge of one of them. I'm not going to look it all up. The next phase is censorship. The next phase is all-out censorship blitz. That is what is coming. Okay? Think about it. Charlie Kirk was the free speech guy, right? Charlie Kirk presented a lot of issues for the agenda right now by the powers that be. He basically single-handedly stopped further escalation of war with Iran, we found out, by literally barging into the Oval Office, having like kind of an intervention with Trump and speaking his mind in no unclear terms. Charlie Kirk is basically the reason why Vance and Trump made it into the White House. And he went in there and spoke his damn mind about war with Iran and probably got it shut down. So he stands in the way of war with Iran. He stands in the way of censorship, and he probably was going to be president.
I feel like Charlie Kirk's take on what was happening in our country in terms of capture of culture was probably the right take. You know, he supported Israel. He supported, that mission to keep, their land safe. And of course, the Islamic agenda is not conducive with the Western world. So I feel like he supported all of that stuff, but it wasn't enough to keep him safe. It wasn't enough to, keep him from dying, from being killed. We don't know who killed him, but whatever his ideology was, ultimately, that is what got him killed. The ultimate censorship. And I think a lot of content makers like Russell Brand and others understand just how serious this issue of free speech. And so if you don't have anything powerful to add to the conversation, then I think you're going to see a lot of people bowing out. And I don't want to see that happen. I'm definitely not bowing out, because this information, when it comes to your health, it is so needed. Let me just tell you, I talk to people every single day. I sit with people. We do assessments. I explain to them what could be happening. I connect them to resources so they can read about how their own body works. They have no idea. They have been conditioned into the medical model, and it's not their fault. It's not your fault. But they've been conditioned into the medical model, and the solutions that they have been given are leading to worse outcomes in their health. But my concern is that this information that I talk about here every day will soon be unavailable to you, because people don't know what they don't know. How can you protect, independent, small voices that are, the only reason I know what I know is because of experience, is because of life experience. Had some crappy stuff not happened to me in terms of health with a bunch of people really in my family, but the most important one was probably my own son. If he hadn't been harmed by a medical intervention, I don't know if I would be so passionate about what I'm doing today. I don't know if I would be doing what I am doing today. So it's not like, oh, I think I'm so much smarter than everybody else. I know the answers to health. No, I had to find these answers. I had to find these answers. Because if I didn't find these answers, my kid would have been suffering. And so you bet I'm going to go find the right answers. Nothing's going to stop me from finding the right answers. And that's what I did. I just kept looking beyond what they put out for you to read, beyond going into a doctor's office for 10 minutes. I don't know. It's weird that there's advertisements in the waiting room for prescription medications. And then when I go back into your exam room, wouldn't you know you're offering me that medication? That didn't sit right with me. So I became suspicious, right? You're not telling me the information that's curating a healthy kid here. So if you're not telling me the information that curates a healthy kid, I'm going to go find it on my own. And that's what we did. And now I meet with people every single day, and they're in the same position I was a couple decades ago. Thinking, why are my results, so every time I go to the doctor, I just get another pill. They don't want me to get off of the pill, but something in you knows. Something in you knows, because every single one of you I talk to, you tell me, I want to get off this medication. Yeah, we know it's not good. What do you think that is? What do you think that is pointing you towards, yeah, I know it's not good. It's your intuition. It's your gut. It's your innate body's ability to warn you of danger. That's what it is. And so I'm going to keep doing this. I'm not going to have all the answers about, what's going on politically. I'm not going to have all of the answers all the time, but I'm definitely going to work through this and bring you important information that I know you need. I know people need this information. You are not capable of getting well and staying well until you understand how your body truly works. And it isn't because you have a deficiency in heart medication. That's not why you're not well. It isn't because you're deficient in the latest and greatest prescription medication. It's just not. Your body has a system built into it. It's ready to roll. You were born whole. You were born with the ability to thrive and survive. And you just need to understand how that system works and stop fighting it. Start listening to it. There's going to be a lot of pressure coming up to conform to and to accept quick fixes. Quick fixes for cancer, quick fixes for, whatever ails you, genetic therapies, even, sensors that you can put under your skin for better health. Like, you're going to have so many options coming up. It's going to be overwhelming. And without calmness and without thoughtfulness and without searching for real solutions for health, you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable to taking on those instant gratification solutions that may lead to more pain and suffering over the long term. Stay tuned. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Garcia. I'm so glad you're here. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time. Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredраdio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Interesting. I'm very interested in knowing that Russell Brand is going to step away from his podcast for a while. I understand the pressures. I understand all of that. That must be, huge pressure on him with a platform that big. I remember when he first started doing his podcast, and I started tuning into it because I couldn't believe. Actually, I was very relieved that he was kind of on our side. You know what I mean? I felt like he was on our side. One of the only people that were on our side when it came to COVID and trying to kind of peel back the layers. He was very careful. He was very, very careful in the beginning. I was running with stories that he was covering, and he was, we're running with the same stories, but he was, tiptoeing like, well, maybe this could be. And I was like, you guys, this is it. This is totally what it is. This is what it is. Like, I didn't care at all. I don't care at all. Because I feel like I knew it was true. I knew where this was all headed, which this is where we are today. Way back then, I was saying this is headed towards mass surveillance. It's headed towards transhumanism. It's headed towards digital currency. It's headed towards the Great Reset, right? This new world, the revolution, right? The technology revolution, and that includes the biological revolution. They're kind of one and the same. I knew that's where it was all heading. He was so, very careful because he had so much responsibility with his millions of followers and stuff, which I understand. But here we are. Here we are. So not only Hillary Clinton, and so, as I was kind of diving in more to Larry Ellison and whatnot, I, was listening to some of his biographies. He supported Bill Clinton. And now, he's supporting Trump. And I just take a lesson from these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, these business guys, these guys that are in the race to control humanity, they couldn't care less about left or right. It's about who's going to give me access and how can I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like Larry Ellison, I was listening to some of his, background and how he got started and whatnot. And it's really about the competitive nature of his business. He started in software, sound like kind of a party guy, honestly, not really one that paid a lot of attention to detail or was concerned about being thorough or whatnot. He was concerned about being first and about making a lot of money. He had all the shiny things, all the, fancy cars and all that stuff. And ultimately, it ended up doing quite a bit of damage to his company, Oracle, because he was over-promising and under-delivering. And here we are now, right, in the AI race. And this guy is front and center. And he's doing whatever it takes to get there. I have a little clip for you on Larry Ellison. Check this out.
There are artificial intelligence tools, and some of them I know that Oracle have developed around financial management for government, but also tell us a bit about what, because you're right at the forefront of this revolution, what it means for what government should do in terms of its digital infrastructure, digital ID, data centers, and so on.
How do you take advantage of these incredible AI models? And the first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. You have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records, your genomic data. And in the Middle East, in the UAE, for example, they're incredibly rich in data. They have a lot of population data. The NHS in the UK has an incredible amount of population data, but it's fragmented. It's not easily accessible by these AI models. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified data platform. So we provide context. When we want to ask a question, we've provided that AI model with all the data they need to understand our country. So that's the big step. That's kind of the missing link. We need to unify all of the national data, put it into a database where it's easily consumable by the AI model, and then ask whatever question you like.
That's a monopoly, right? I mean, Oracle is a massive company, and most of us don't even know when we're using it, is what I learned, watching some of this guy's biography and the information on Oracle that exists. So Larry Ellison is the guy behind Digital ID. He's the owner of Oracle. He's now the owner of CBS. He's now the owner of CNN. And soon he will have acquired, in part, TikTok. And so this is what I'm saying when I say we're living in the attention economy. They know it. They know that the economy is all about capturing your attention. If they can capture your attention, they can control what you think. This is why the Ray Kurzweils of the world want to solve sleeping. Because if they can get you on in the algorithm, living more virtually, most of the time that you're awake, then it's easy to control your actions and what you believe. And so it's all about capturing your attention. Now, if you go back and you watch, years ago, I remember there was a couple of guys that I think they were, really on a mission to kind of, AI safety. I don't know what happened to them. I should look it up. But they did a movie like the social, on the social platforms, and how it was all about your attention. And it was eye-opening to a lot of people, because I think that movie really helped people understand that you were the product. And that's why things like Facebook were free, Twitter is free. That's why they were entirely free before, because they were monetizing you. They continue to monetize your attention. And that was back then. It's like, oh, but we didn't do anything about it. We didn't do anything about it. And fast forward into today, and now that time that's being spent on technology is actually changing our kids' brains. We have kids that are struggling now with their behavior. They're getting diagnoses like autism and ADD and ADHD and neurodivergent. And it's hard for us to know if this is biological injury from toxicity, or if this is behavior induced from overuse of technology. Do you see what I'm saying here? This attention economy has captured people's consciousness, and they are unable to kind of break out of it, because that algorithm continues to feed their dopamine. So it's not just like a addiction in a way, like it's a habit. You're getting a chemical payoff for it as well. And it's actually changing your neural pathways and how you think. And it's less attuned to humans and more attuned to machine. And that is why people like Larry Ellison figure, you're not going to have a problem with being surveilled. Listen to this.
World's most essential software. Tools you use every day, but probably don't realize that it's his company making them work.
Almost everybody in the world uses Oracle. They just don't know it. If you do any kind of government transaction with almost any government in the world, any business transaction with almost any internet business in the world or any traditional business, if you have a credit card, if you have a cell phone, if you have any of the modern things in life, if you live today, I think you probably use Oracle.
Larry Ellison arguably created the most important computer software you never heard of. He was the man behind the curtain for a...
We don't even know who is collecting our data and how much of a monopoly that entity has on us. It's kind of like when you go into the grocery store and you think, oh, there's all these different choices here of cookies, and they're all made by different, grandma's cookies, Auntie M's cookies, the elves cookies, these must all be different companies. They're not. They're not different companies. We have a very centralized food system. And that goes for our technology as well. We have these massive operations that, you think, this is a government software or whatever. This must be private information. How are you going to know? We have no idea how much data they have on us individually and what we've even consented to and beyond. Because there's certainly stuff we haven't consented to, but really, who reads all the terms of service? Almost nobody, right? TikTok is one of the most invasive data collection mechanisms there is. Your car is a data collection mechanism. Your phone, obviously, it goes everywhere with you, even the bathroom. And that's a data collection receptacle. So all this data that you have on you has been collected, compounded throughout the planet. And this puts companies like Oracle in a, it's almost unfathomable how much power they must have with knowing all of those things about every single person that interacts with their software. And when you go back and you start learning about Larry Ellison and you realize the guy was a bit of a psycho because he really just there's a guy who tells a story in that documentary about him where he said, I ordered this really amazing car, right? This really amazing car. And this was years ago, a really amazing car. And Larry found out I ordered the car, and then he went and ordered the same car and paid for it to get here before his did, because Larry needed to be first with that car. It is about him being first in everything. There's another part in there where many of his colleagues and whatnot say, Larry will say, if you don't want to compete with me, if you want to compete with me, prepare to be crushed. These people are very power hungry. They don't care about politics, left or right. I'll tell you why I think we need to kind of adopt the same philosophy. It may shock you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Naturally Inspired Radio.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
I've dealt with lingering stiffness and low energy for years, but since starting the cellular reset, everything has changed. My body recovers faster, my energy stays consistent throughout the day, and I feel stronger overall. Thank you, Tammy, for your weekly wellness workshops and the real health solutions you share. They've made such a difference in my life. That's from Megan in Tennessee. You can try our cellular reset today. And as a member, you'll enjoy 15% on every order, discounted, money back guarantee, free and flat rate shipping options, loyalty points for free product that you can carry forward with you from month to month, priority access to my health text line and emails for questions and suggestions, VIP access to our weekly wellness workshops, and so much more. Become a member of Naturally Inspired just by becoming a customer, buying wellness products that you buy anyway at sometimes Walmart or even Costco. You're buying them anyway. Get a better product and get support through the Naturally Inspired community. Become a member today, naturallyinspiredstore.com/reset. If you have questions about the cellular reset or any of the product line, just text me 720-303-8868. Okay. Why do I think it's so important right now that we pay attention to what these people are doing? They have a recipe for success. They aren't getting caught up in the daily distraction. They don't care about left. They don't care about right. They care about access. They care about getting their mission complete. I think us as a United States citizenry needs to take that on more as a group. What is our desired outcome? What can we all agree on? What do we want here? Because we are on the verge of being enslaved. And that is not hyperbole. We are on the verge of being enslaved. And let me tell you about one of the ways that one of the mechanisms they can use to get people to accept their solutions. It is the fact that people are manic. When we are manic, when we are, just all like, just like really, jumping from one thing to the next, we're vulnerable. We have to learn how to curate calmness in ourselves, because calmness, when you are calm, you're thinking straight. You can weigh out things, from a critical point of view. You can look, here's the good things about this. Here's the bad things about it. But when we are manic and in chaos, like the news cycle wants to keep us, we aren't making the best decisions for ourselves. And people like Larry Ellison, well, let me tell you, they're calm. They're collected. They're not following the latest news on the left, who's on the left, who's on the right, what fights are happening in Portland, what's going on here, with this person fighting in Walmart or what, like all that just amps up and contributes to mania. To the point now, you talk to people and it's like, they don't even have the ability to listen anymore because of this portal that is training their brains to just go. Just on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. And everybody's walking around just like in their own little world. It's like, let me tell you, the cult has cohesiveness. The World Economic Forum, they have cohesiveness. They've all agreed and they've all planned out their products that fall in line with the agenda that they're all marching forward. Climate change, digital currency, biotech. Like they're on board. You know, it's all cohesive for them. And they're very calm about it. You don't see them being rattled all the time. Meanwhile, here we are being rattled every day from the news cycle that we're plugging into, because we do have free will. We're plugging into it to get rattled every day. And we don't even realize it. So today's naturally inspired moment is the science and power of staying calm. Calmness isn't weakness, right? It's biochemical strength. When you practice staying calm, you're training your body to remain in balance instead of in survival mode. Most people live with the gas pedal of their nervous system pressed all the way down to the floor, flooding the body with cortisol and adrenaline. And calmness releases the brakes on healing. You cannot heal when you have the gas pedal of cortisol pushed down, pedal to the metal. So being calm regulates the nervous system. When you can calm yourself in the middle of stress, no matter what's going on, you shift from sympathetic dominance, fight or flight, to parasympathetic state, reset and repair. This switch improves digestion, sleep, immune function, hormone balance, the very systems that shut down under constant tension, but it also clears your mind. And when your mind is clear, you can get a bird's eye view of things that are going on. Versus when you are living in fight or flight, oh my God, what's the best solution? I'm going to do this. What about that over there? Hey, I heard about this. I heard about that. Maybe that'll work. Blah, blah, blah. First thing to do before you even look for a solution is calm down. And I know that's like the worst thing you can say to somebody when they are tense, when they are upset. Calm down. But it's so true. Like reset, right? Because when you are thrown off constantly into this downward spiral of chaos, there's no way you're making critical decisions thoughtfully. You don't have the capacity. Number 2, calmness protects your heart. Chronic stress thickens blood. It elevates pressure and inflames your arteries. A calm state lowers heart rate, blood pressure, and inflammatory markers. Over time, this can literally add years to your life and reduce your risk of heart attack or stroke. This is way more beneficial to you than what your allopathic doctor would be telling you. Avoid salt. Don't eat fat. Calm down, number 1. Number 1, calm down. Calm down. Like, I can't say that enough because, interacting with people all the time, I sense the stress, and just, reading things online and the way people present things online. It's so high stress and urgency and act now. There's a reason why they're presenting in that way. They're presenting in that way to create chaos in you, to create stress in you, so that your critical thinking skills go dormant. That'll be the thing they use to bring in this digital ID, chaos. And I personally think they're going to use Muslims to do it. in the Western world. I think that's going to be one of the components that they use. Fighting in the street, we're seeing Muslims, approach women and tell them that they're haram or whatever. And it's going to create a lot of tension, a lot of chaos. And I mean, when you think you have an enemy right in your streets, you're going to be begging for solutions. They aren't your enemy, actually. Do they probably need to go home? Yep, they probably do, because like I said, Islam is not conducive with the West. It's just not. You can't be coming here thinking you can practice Sharia law. But are they your enemy? Who's letting them in? Who's letting them in? Who's flooding them in? Right? So think about that before you allow yourself to give up all your freedom. Calm influences others. While calm improves decision-making. Let's do that one first. In calm, the prefrontal cortex, the logical creative part of your brain, becomes active again. That's where your vision, your strategy, and your wisdom live. You don't just survive situations, you begin to navigate them. Calm thinking leads to better results in your relationships. It leads to better results in your finances. It leads to better results in your circumstances and also in your health decisions. You'll find in the allopathic model, it's very drive-through. It's a very drive-through experience now. That's, I believe, purposeful. Because they treat everybody the same. This is what you get. Come in, come on. What do you want? What do you need? Blah, blah, blah. Let's go. Okay, next. That's not what I do. In a community, I sit with people. We talk. I want to know everything about your story. You know why? Because I'm listening. I'm listening to things that have gone down, that have happened in your life, that have created the results that you're living right now. That is what you need to be doing to curate health. You need to listen. There are huge pieces of the puzzle to be learned when you just sit and listen. But the allopathic healthcare model does not allow for that, which right there tells me they don't care about getting you the results that you want. They care about getting the result they want, which is one more in the system, to buy the products, to buy the medical interventions, to keep the hospitals full, it's a business. They have to be able to treat that fast, right? It's not even treatment. I don't know what it is. It's a sales thing. But when you are in that fight or flight state, you're vulnerable. And you just want solutions. So it's so important that you push back against that and say, I understand you're giving me this information, but I need time to process. There's nothing wrong with that. Your calmness influences others to be calm. People feel your energy before they hear your words. And calm presence disarms conflicts, builds trust, and inspires confidence in others. Calmness just creates better outcomes. Stay tuned, everybody. We're going into hour 2 of Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites. And click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. Naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome back. I tell you, the snow commercials are very, not no commercials, but these shortened commercials, they make the time go by really, really fast. I got to stay on it. If you're joining us for the second hour, this is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I connect people to real solutions for health. I'm a little bit of a health detective. What I do is I peel back the layers and I figure out what could be standing in the way between you and how you really want to feel. And if that sounds like something that you would like to talk about, if you have been all the places, if you have paid all the money, gosh, I feel bad for people sometimes, and you still don't have the answers that you want, then what do you have to lose? Book a 30-minute free consultation with me. We'll sit down, we'll talk about some things. I'm certain I can shed some light on some stuff. Ask any one of the people in Naturally Inspired community, and they'll be happy to tell you what has transpired for them. I have people losing 6 pounds in a week. I have other people that have completely turned around their energy. I have people that have done all kinds of things that people had already told them they could not do. And it's only because it's not me, it's them actually deciding that they're going to plug into the real solutions for health and stop messing around with all these Band-Aids and prescription medications and other things that really don't get to the root cause, right? They just cover it up. kick the can down the road. And unfortunately, when you kick the can down the road, things only get worse until you really start addressing the root cause. So that's what we do. We help people connect to those solutions. So go to naturallyinspiredstore.com / assessment. Thank you, Jason. naturallyinspiredstore.com / assessment. And you can book a free 30-minute assessment with me. If you just want to is this lady for real? This is the first time I've seen her or whatever. Text me. 720-303-8868. It is not a chat bot. It is not an automated service. It is me. It is me, real person here, providing real solutions for health. So 720-303-8868. In the first hour, I feel like I did kind of a poor job of communicating to you about this issue of censorship and why it's impacting, why it's making me feel the way I feel today. Seeing Russell Brand back away from his podcast, hearing people like Ian Carroll say, hey, we're headed into mass censorship, coupled with last week when I shared with you that Hillary Clinton is on the beat. She's clearly on the beat covering misinformation. I'm a little worried about, it's not bad enough out here in terms of, if you don't pay for distribution, if you don't have a hookup in the distribution arena, meaning someone's going to back you and help you get your message out to the public, then you're not growing. It's kind of how it is. And I just want to connect to whoever wants to connect to real solutions for health. That's what this whole show is about, is making sure people get the information they need so that they can change the way they're living and get better results with their health and with their kids' health and with their kids' health, because it's all about changing culture of health in the country. Now, it would be nice to connect to millions of people so that we can do it faster. But ultimately, you're the most powerful person that can spread this message. Because if you share this with somebody and they love you and like you and trust you, they're going to listen to it and they're going to take it in and they're going to think, oh, well, some of that made sense to me. And then they may pass it on to somebody else, and then they pass it on to somebody else. And that's how we kind of shape culture in the country. And let me tell you, in terms of health, we got a lot of problems, obviously, in this country, but in terms of health, it needs to be our number one priority. It needs to be, because 76% of Americans are living with chronic illness. That's a security risk. That's a quality of life risk. That's a real problem. And I'm not sure you're going to be able to access this information forever. So take advantage of it now. Please, if it's not with me, if it's not with Naturally Inspired, please be inspired today to reach out to some solution that is a real solution for health, not another medication, not another allopathic procedure, but a real solution for health that's sustainable. So, so important. The Albanians, you guys, I can't even believe I'm saying this. They have voted, I put that in loose terms here, a minister for their government. And it is a AI entity. Diella, Diella is her name. She's an AI, or it's an AI minister for public procurement. So in September, Albanian Prime Minister Edi Rama introduced Diella, an AI system, as a minister responsible for overseeing public tenders and procurement. Diella isn't a human, but a virtual avatar representation in the cabinet aimed at removing human biases, corruption, and influence from procurement decisions. The AI was originally a virtual assistant for the Albania Public Services Platform. It handled citizen interactions, documents, services, requests, etc. But the government plans a step-by-step transfer of procurement authority from human ministries to Diella. The stated goal is 100% transparency in public tenders, eliminating corruption, nepotism, and favoritism. Rama has publicly remarked it's symbolic of innovation and, quote, removing human interests. It's to avoid common political manipulations. Institutional and constitutional questions. Critics argue Albania's constitution demands that cabinet positions be held by human citizens, accountable to legal frameworks. The appointment raises constitutional, legal, and ethical questions. Opposition in parliament protested Diella's debut. Some members banged tables, objected to speeches by AI in the legislative hall. Some observers call it a stunt unless backed by serious human oversight, governance, transparency, and legal reform. The e-Albania platform is the core government digital service hub. It offers 400 plus services, documents, businesses, administration. Diella is embedded there. Albania has signed a collaboration with OpenAI's leadership. Let's talk about OpenAI, right? I mean, I've played you several clips, I think, from Sam Altman. And when Tucker Carlson pressed Sam Altman for who is making the decisions for AI, who is actually like making the decisions for Chat GPT, and he said, well, if you want to put a face to it, I guess that face would have to be me, which is weird because there's been a lot of weirdness around Sam Altman. One being that Chat GPT was supposed, and OpenAI was supposed to be a not-for-profit entity and was funded by Elon Musk on that premise that it would be a not-for-profit entity, which he later reneged on that. And it is, of course, now Sam Altman is, I would say, an adversary of Elon Musk because of that violation of trust. Because Elon, of course, funded OpenAI in its early phase. So, you know, not only that, but, and I'm not saying, I'm not making accusations, and there's nothing, you know, I'm not saying this is true, but there is some strange goings on when it comes to former employee at OpenAI. And I think Tucker Carlson covered that in his interview with Sam Altman. There were some questions, you know, just some questions. People had some questions, and even about an employee that died. His family had some questions in the manner of which he died. So I just get, you know, when I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm studying for our time together and stuff, I'm like, you know, there truly is an upper echelon of class of people that do not deal with legal ramifications. You know, we live under the law, but they certainly don't. You know, they certainly don't. And it's all about, it's just like, it's like a pleb type of scenario here. It's like these, you know, cultish billionaires who are making all the decisions to shape our culture and how we're going to live. And then us pleb class down here, we just have to kind of, you know, we don't even get any discussion about it. Because, like, I don't really want to integrate technology and biology. I don't want a digital ID. I don't want to be digitally surveilled. I don't want a lot of these things. And I think you don't either. But yet we've never been permitted to have a conversation about it. You know, we vote on abortion every time. We vote on taxes every time. We vote on, you know, these pressing issues, you know, and it just kind of blows my mind because those aren't pressing issues to me anymore. And I don't think they've been pressing issues for a lot of people for a long time. The same old talking points about politics, right? Taxes, abortion. What? Like we're going into the digital revolution and we're going to be enslaved. Can we talk about that? Can we maybe have a discussion about that? Can we maybe have a discussion about these 15-minute cities that you're talking about? What about like not driving? Autonomous cars? That changes the whole landscape of our society. No discussion. No. We don't get to talk about those things. We just have to suck it up. It's so wild. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Did you know that nearly 70% of Americans struggle with their health every single day? That's why we are reaching out to health professionals and to anyone who simply has a heart for helping people. Right now, there's an opportunity to make a real difference in people's lives while building a flexible income stream for yourself. Whether you're already working in health, wellness, or just passionate about seeing people thrive, we want to connect with you and introduce you to our system. Together, we can provide real solutions that empower people to take control of their health and create lasting impact. If you've been looking for a way to combine purpose with income, this is it. Visit simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. That's simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. We look forward to working with you.
Shout out to Miss Lisa for shooting me that story last night on Albania. She's a member of our community, so, she has my text line. We chat back and forth. So thank you, Lisa, for sending me the story on the Albanian government moving over to AI, because I didn't even see really anybody talking about that. Like, that's a big deal that governments are starting to appoint artificial intelligence into government, like taking over human roles. I think that is endless, and again, we don't get to really have the conversation about it. I do want to tell you about my methylated vitamins, though. I always felt drained and foggy no matter how healthy I tried to eat. This is so common. Once I learned from Tammy about MTHFR and started using methylated vitamins, everything clicked. My focus is sharper, my mood is more stable, and my energy feels natural again. Thank you, Tammy, for explaining what so many doctors overlooked. Your information on MTHFR changed my health for the better. That's from Kevin in Washington. You can try our methylated vitamins today. As a member, you'll enjoy 15% discount on every order for a lifetime, money back guarantee, free and flat rate shipping, loyalty points towards free product, priority access to my health text line, just like Lisa. And you can email for questions and suggestions, although I do prefer text. I'm telling you guys, my email is a mess. There's like thousands. So you really want to get a hold of me fast, you need to text me 720-303-8868, 720-303-8868. You can purchase methylated vitamins at naturallyinspiredstore.com/vitamin. So that's going on, and it just feels like, we can't have a discussion about it. It's just going to get like ushered in. And again, I have to go back to that calmness piece, right? Because we're kept in this chaos. Like, I don't think the chaos has really stopped since COVID, Think about all the, what that has happened since, COVID started and today. Like, I know it's been 5.5 years here. But gosh, do you recall any such chaos in a 5-year period as this 5-year period? We're talking about, plandemic. We're talking about experimental gene therapy. We're talking about natural disasters. We're talking about chemtrails. We're talking about corruption and capture. We're talking about even our political system. An insurrection, for goodness sakes. We've experienced an insurrection in the last 6 years. Stuff we never saw before, right? It's like a lot of firsts, a lot of craziness. And what a great way to change the world. What a great way to change the world, the fabric of the world that you and I were raised in, to just create utter chaos in it. And then say, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn everything into digital. We're going to change everything so that you can be safe and go back into comfort. And don't worry about electing anybody anymore, because AI knows who you want. You know how we know who you want? Because we know where you spend your time on the algorithm. We know your algorithm. And because we know your algorithm, we know how you would vote. And so instead of putting in another flawed human, let's just let an algorithm that mirrors what everybody wants and thinks, and let that make our decisions for us. That, everybody, is called technocracy, and it's existed since the 70s. The idea that science knows better than humans, and so therefore, why shouldn't science govern us? Yep, this is a whole program that started sprouting off in the 70s. And it was this, and it doesn't just tie nicely into COVID when you think about it, I believe in science. In this house, we believe in science. Do ya? How's it working out for you? Got any myocarditis? Got any blood clots? Dare I say turbo cancer? How's that working out for you? Who's deciding on the science? Is it Sam Altman? A gay man who paid a surrogate to birth his child? Lives a little bit differently than most of us. But somehow he's more qualified to determine what is fact. Bizarro land. You know what I mean? I think he's like 30 something too. You know what I mean? I don't know about you, but I've learned a lot from my 30s to where I am now. A lot. And when I see some of these people in their 30s talk, I think some gaps there when it comes to life, right? Great person. I love you. It's good for you. You're doing well. But also there are some gaps there, There are some gaps where you just quite haven't lived it yet. I'm not saying that for everybody with age brings wisdom, but for a lot of us, I feel like it did, and I'm still searching, I still want to keep adding to the bucket of wisdom here, because I definitely don't have it all figured out, but huge difference from when I was in my 30s compared to now. And I don't know, it just seems like a real gamble to have all of the authority on what is truth be programmed by, 30-something tech bros that don't necessarily share the same worldview at all, or even the majority's worldview, because, it is still the majority of people that adhere to a traditional family dynamic in their life. Call me crazy, but I'm a little hesitant to accept somebody that, was on board with the LGBTQ tribe when on their website they advocated for the end of families, right? Of traditional, what was it? cis families. What did Norm Macdonald say? I will never forget. That was just so funny. Cis is the way they marginalize normal people. That's exactly. Oh, cis, that's just a way to marginalize normal people, right? Because everybody needs to be marginalized at this point. If you're not, if you're not marginalized, are you really very cool at all? Like, what's your marginalization? How are you special? Do you have a diagnosis? Would you like to wear a badge with a diagnosis on it? Would you like to announce your pronouns to the entire group here so we know how special you are? Or maybe should we start all wearing foxtails and cattails and acting like dogs or whatever, just to be special, because you're not special enough on your own. You have to have an identifying component that makes you very special, more specialer than the other specials. Just a little sick of it, you know? Just a little sick of it. Just a little sick of it. You want to be special? Why don't you try committing to something and working on it for years? That's a way to be special. You want to be special? Why don't you show up in your authentic voice? That's special. You want to be special? Be on time. You want to be special? Follow your word, right? It would be good if we had a little return to that kind of special. We're not even asked about this stuff, and we're expected to live by it. And I think the people, hopefully, if we can get some calmness back, I feel like if we got calmness back, people would wake up and they would be like, what the hell's going on here? Well, I lost my marbles for a while. You know? Wouldn't that be great if you just felt like people just woke up and like, wait a minute, that's ridiculous. What are you talking about? Hopefully we're inching towards that, because these cultists are not going to let up. Check out this from the World Economic Forum on programmable money.
The one final note I will make is that if you think about the benefits of digital money, there are huge potential gains. It's not just about digital forms of physical currency. You can have programmability, units of central bank currency with expiry dates. You could have, as I argue in my book, a potentially better and some people might see it, or a darker world where the government decides that units of central bank money can be used to purchase some things, but not other things that it deems less desirable, like, say, ammunition or drugs or pornography or something of the sort. And that is very powerful in terms of the use of a CBDC, and I think also extremely dangerous for central banks. Because ultimately, if you have different units of central bank money with different characteristics, or if you use central bank money as a conduit for economic policies in a very targeted way, or more broadly for social policies, that could really affect the integrity of central bank money and the integrity and independence of central banks. So there are wonderful notions of things that can be done with digital money, but again, I fear that technology could take us to a better place, but equally has the potential to take us to a pretty dark place.
Oh, you think? You think it could take us to a pretty dark place? I'm thinking it might take us to a pretty dark place. Who gets to decide? Who's the moral authority on what is socially connected to your programmable currency? You know? That's what I want to know, because, I don't know, there's so many things to think about here, right? I just think people got to really understand that this will not, there's nothing that this won't impact. So, you don't feel like you want to get that additional injection this month. Oh, there goes your programmable currency switch, right? You got to be able to do this. You got to jump through this hoop. But just look at the way, if you just historically look at the government, go to the DMV without, what is it now, 3 or 4 proof of identification, including proof of address. How's that going to work out for you? Just here to renew my license. Oh, I need 2 forms of ID. I need a piece of mail with your current address on it. Oh, you have a P.O. box? Oh, that's not going to be good enough. Go back home. Take a number, 452. Like, you really want the government in charge of this kind of thing? Stay tuned. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I'm so glad you're here. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
I've been taking the Cheer Up and Chill Out gummies for a few weeks now, and I can really feel the difference. I bet you can. My mood feels lighter, and I'm handling daily stress so much better. It's amazing how something so simple can make such an impact. Thank you, Tammy, for your great info and for always sharing natural ways to support our health. Have you heard of our your Cheer Up and Chill Out gummies? I don't know if I've mentioned them on here before, but they are incredible. They taste great. And if you're just, find yourself in the middle of the day where you're like just hanging on by a thread, I mean, it's like, really? Like, what else is going on here? If you feel that way, this might be a good solution for you to carry around some Cheer Up and Chill Out gummies because you can take them on the go. They're easy, they taste great, and they work immediately. They aren't the drowsy type, like they don't have CBD in them or anything like that. And they aren't the drowsy type of, stress aid. It's just a nice, calm, relaxing type of feeling that they bring, and they work. I've used them myself. They're really awesome. So don't forget, when you become a customer, you get 15% discount on all of the products that you buy with us. You get a money back guarantee for a lifetime. You get flat rate shipping options and sometimes even free shipping. You get loyalty points towards free product, and you get priority access. Probably the most important thing is you get priority access to me. You get to be on my priority text line. So I answer questions on there. You also get access to my weekly wellness workshops. So tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about parasites, I believe. It's parasite night tomorrow night. So every week we talk about a different health topic, and you can plug right into the community and access all those wonderful benefits. And you're buying products that you already like and use anyway. They're just better products. They're cleaner. They've been clinically tested for toxicity. They're better than organic. They're better than non-GMO. Top of the line products here. naturallyinspiredstore.com/cheer-up. If you have questions, you might need to, if you're dealing with stress at a high level, let's have a chat, because diet can help a ton with that. And I have some real solutions for you. 720-303-8868. Kevin McKiernan, I think that's our McCarran. I don't know if you say it McKiernan or McCarran, but he has been very outspoken through the COVID times. He's a researcher, a scientist. He finally got to sit down with Cheryl Atkinson, and They had a wonderful conversation. I want to share a clip with you about it. Here it is.
So what should people be concerned about with what you found? If someone's had COVID vaccines, what would be their concern?
I would keep an eye on if any of your family members come down with an unexplained cancer, get a pathologist involved to get a slide or a sample so that the people who are studying this can begin to look for whether there's vaccine sequence in there. So we have a person who had 4 Pfizer vaccines, and then a year after that came down with a colon cancer, and there were 3 biopsies taken, 2 before death and 1 after. The person died of this diagnosis within 30 days. Those samples were then, we used a tool called PCR to look for the Pfizer's vaccine sequence, and then resorted to a process known as voluminous sequencing, to sequence the tissue to see if there's any Pfizer sequence in there, and there is. And shockingly, there's a lot of it, and that was not expected. The only way that happens is if it got into the cells and amplified and started replicating.
Does it imply that it caused the cancer, or just the fact that it was present in the cancer is concerning because it's in the body?
Yes, that's it's a good question. We can't nail causality from the data we have, but it is certainly a concern when you see a sequence like that. So there are mechanisms where this could be playing a role in cancer. So the reason we'd like to get this message out is that I think too many of these tumor biopsies are getting thrown away and the evidence is disappearing. And it's important for folks going through that process to try to retain the biopsies if they can, so that we can go back and see if this is in fact the case.
You know, it would just seem like that would be a rational thing to do. You know, if everything was on the up and up, this is what I do sometimes, you know, when I'm just like thinking about the way things transpired through COVID. It was so obvious to me, you know, on so many levels that the whole thing was being concocted. And it was very important that everything went a certain way. They already had the path forward to get through COVID. They didn't want to hear anything. You know what I mean? It's like if someone had an absolute cure for COVID that was like, you know, 100%, they didn't want to hear it. That should have been most people's red flag. You know what I mean? Like we had doctors who were like, hey, I'm treating COVID and this is how I'm doing it. And I'm getting this kind of result and nobody's died. And shut up. Shut that person up. Censor her. Shut her up. Shut up. That was the major red flag, right? Because like, if it truly was like a wild virus that got out and caused a pandemic, then it would seem like we'd all be on the same playing field for like trying to find help, trying to figure out how to deal with this, right? There was no mass triage set up for like digital triage where doctors could go to an online database of some sort and put in what they were doing in real time and then like use technology to compound that data and see what actually was working. Like why did we not do that? Because they didn't want answers. That's why we didn't do that. They already had an answer. And same thing, like we should all be under study, you know, people who didn't take the vaccine. How are they doing today versus people who took the vaccine? That right there is a science experiment, right? Like if you really truly wanted to know what was working and what improved human health, all of this data would be collected and they'd be sharing it. But they don't. They don't. There was one road to take for COVID. One road. The only road. Don't look at any other roads. Don't even look. Don't even think about a different road. Because we'll shut you down. We'll deplatform you. We'll ban you from social media. And it's sad because these people so Dr. Peter McCullough had said many years ago now when I interviewed him and he came out to speak at our summit, he had said that he believed that if you were already if you already had something going on in your body, right? You already had a lot of inflammation. You already had maybe something not going, well, that the injections would amplify that and make it worse. And that anecdotally certainly seems to be what I have seen. That if you already, had issues, they would it amplified it and made it worse. And for those people who were lucky enough to be in good health when they took it, it may not have been a problem for them yet, but certainly we should be looking at any reputable scientist would think this is a variable. Anytime somebody comes in and they get a cancer diagnosis, this has to be a variable. Did you get vaccinated? It has to be. It has to be, but it's not. Don't even ask you, right? Or if they ask you, they give the side eye to the nurse standing beside them. They know. Anyone in healthcare knows. They know. Think they don't know? They do know. So that would be great data to have, right? To see if there's actually, they can look for the spike protein in the cancer, look for the sequencing in there to see if that's what's causing cancer, right? Don't we want to know? Don't we want to know? No, they don't want to know, because the minute they know, that creates liability. Now if we know, that's the way they do it. They don't do the science so that they don't have liability issues. If the science never done, then we don't know. It's the same reason why they tell you idiopathic. Oh, it's idiopathic. Oh, we don't know why it happens. It just happens. We don't know. Lies. You may not know. I do. I do. They may legitimately not know. They may be so swallowed up by the institution that they really may not know, but I do. And you should too. But that means you got to take personal responsibility for your health, and you've got to want to learn what's happening in your body. But that would be a great thing. I mean, I think that would probably be an actual valid use for Carrie Mullis's PCR test, is to find, you know what I mean? I mean, that poor guy. It's just fascinating how he died the August before COVID. And it was his invention of the PCR test that drove the COVID pandemic. Without the PCR test, I don't know how they would have been able to push cases, right? Because it wasn't people dying in the street. It wasn't people dropping dead on the sidewalk that was getting people to line up for the injections. Nope. It was CNN. It was CNN telling you the case rate. It was the fact that you had to test to go places. Like, the test was big during COVID. Big way. Stay tuned, because your health topic is coming up, and I'm going to tell you about some easy, healthy swaps that you can make for common over-the-counter medicines. Stay tuned.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
I just finished my cellular reset. Have it every day when I sit down with you at 3 o'clock. I love my cellular reset. It tastes fantastic. I put a teaspoon in a short glass with a little bit of soda water and some ice cubes. Sometimes I'll put some blueberries in there or maybe even some cherries or whatever, but I crave it now because it tastes so good and it is so powerful with inflammation and recovery and energy. And it's something I don't want to go without now. So try it out. Naturallyinspiredstore.com/reset. If you have questions about it, 720-303-8868. Happy to answer those for you. So for today's health topic, I want to talk about just a guide to healthy swaps that you can do your own research, of course, because I don't give medical advice, but I do help, connect people to real solutions for health. So I'm going to mention a few things here and you can kind of run with it. You can go check it out and see what you think. So a lot of people dealing with headaches and muscle pains. And now that we know what we know about Tylenol, which I've known for a long time about Tylenol, and for that matter, NSAIDs as well, to really do a number on your gut microbiome. And the integrity of your gut. So watch those over-the-counter pain relief medications. Just because you can get them without a prescription does not mean that they are without consequence. So what can you do? Well, a headache and muscle pain is a signal, a communication from your body. So it's time to listen up, right? What are you trying to tell me? So there are several things that could be going on that you should look into. Magnesium. Point 1, if you're experiencing a lot of tension, then it may be time to add some magnesium into your regular routine. Glycinate is great. It relaxes muscles and it relaxes blood vessels. I have a magnesium drink that I absolutely love. Again, for me, it's about lifestyle. It's so important. I was talking to somebody today who I just love her. And she was, kind of like, well, I had some eggs and, I don't really like the eggs. And I'm like, well, hey, don't do that. You know what I mean? We're discovering, we're on a journey together to discover healthy things that you like. If you don't like what you're doing, stop. Because that's not the way to curate sustainable lifestyle practices that bring you the results that you want. Trust me, there are plenty of paths, plenty of things that you can do. You don't have to suffer with one choice, okay? I got lots of tricks, so don't do that. But so I have a magnesium drink that I like because it tastes good. I enjoy it. And especially now, but I don't use it so much in the summer. I use it more in the winter because there's just it's nice to be able to have a cup of something hot and have it be beneficial to your health, especially when it's getting cold and fall-y outside, right? So again, it complements your life, right? So magnesium, I have a wonderful drink that I love. Omega-3s, okay? So I'm telling you, a lot of people are not taking omegas, and that can contribute to stiffness. That can contribute to just, dry skin. If you have dry skin and you're always dealing with dry skin and you're dealing with it by putting lotion on top of the skin, it's time to start dealing with it internally and get some more fats in your diet. So omega-3s are a wonderful thing. Hydration, huge when it comes to headaches. I think people totally overlook this. You can't drink just plain water to get hydrated. You have to have electrolytes to be able, for the water to be able to get into the cell. It needs electrolytes. It needs salt to get into the cell. So hydration is key, making sure that you're not just drinking water and having it pass through your body, but that you're actually hydrating at the cellular level. Another little trick is even some essential oils, right? On your temples. Peppermint on your temples or on the back of your neck is a great thing. I also like turmeric for inflammation. Of course, I love my cellular reset for inflammation and also to support your detox pathways. I love our liver DTX. So if you have questions about any of these products, if you have questions about any of these topics, text me 720-303-8868. I'm happy to give you a little bit more information. I want to get through as many as I can here though, so it can be helpful to you. So allergies or even congestion. So instead of being on a daily allergy pill, you might want to look into, first of all, diet. You know, I'm always going to go there first. Okay. Diet. But what are you doing? Could you be exposing yourself to things that are, causing high histamine levels in your body already? Things like ultra processed foods, things that are leading to a leaky gut type of situation where your body's just highly inflamed all the time. So it'd be like a multiple approach here. You want to cut down inflammation. So use something like the cellular reset. Then you can supplement with things like vitamin C. Did you know vitamin C is a natural antihistamine? Things like quercetin and bromelain, these are natural antihistamines, and they also help with inflammation. And then, of course, you're going to want to work on your gut microbiome with a good, proven pre and probiotic, which, of course, here at Naturally Inspired, we love our good brew. Stinging nettle capsules also help. Local raw honey, just a little bit of honey every day. Local, though. It needs to be local in your area because that is where it's made, and so it's important that you get it from your environment because that will support desensitization to allergens in your area. So local raw honey, and here's one that you should do for allergies, congestion, but also if you ever feel something coming on, like oh, is that a little tickle? Nose washing. So you want to use, obviously a clean neti pot. You want to use saline solution, not tap water, right? You don't want to be doing it with tap water. You want to be doing it with sterile saline solution and nose washing every day. This is where everything collects in your nose. And so it's not good enough to just blow it out a lot of times when you're talking about allergens. You've got to actually wash the nasal pathways and let it wash through and carry some of those irritants out. So a great practice to get into. You do it, in the morning, part of your routine in the morning. Brush your teeth, nose wash if you're in an allergy season. For constipation and indigestion, first of all, I would say if you're dealing with this issue, you got to take a look at your diet, right? The ultra processed foods, what are you eating? What's causing the congestion in your gastrointestinal tract? What's the issue? Something's happening, right? If you're not going to the bathroom properly or you're going too much, you're not going enough, that's a signal. That's a communication. It should not be ignored. It's very important. It's very important, okay? This is a huge detox pathway for you. And if it's not working properly, then you're carrying all that around with you. So you've got to make sure the detox pathways are open. A good way to do those, I love our Easy Just enzymes that helps you break down food, okay? Helps break down protein and fat. You can always use Good Brew as well is a wonderful, everyone that's on Good Brew in this community, they love it. Like nobody wants to go without it again. And I don't blame you. But magnesium citrate can be a good one as well. I would lead you back to my magnesium drink that has several different magnesiums in it. Even apple cider vinegar can be helpful before you eat. So have a little bit of a shot of apple cider vinegar before you eat. Don't take it plain. Put it in a little water. It'll just pucker you up. Oh my goodness. I've done that once before, so don't do that. Apple cider vinegar and a little warm water, even with maybe a little bit of lemon. Get in the habit of doing that before you eat. That helps your digestive tract. And of course, I am one that totally believes in fruits and vegetables. I know people love to get dogmatic about diet and stuff. I believe you need fruits and vegetables, and especially fiber, right? And things even like chia seed can be helpful. That helps the natural motility of your digestive tract. For insomnia, not sleeping, oh my goodness. A lot of people use alcohol to sleep. Other people will take NyQuil to sleep. Not the best ideas, okay? Here are some good ones. Magnesium, again, is a wonderful one to help. Chamomile is good. Valerian root. I have a lemon balm 5-HTP rest and rewind that is incredible for sleeping. It tastes great. It's a hot drink again, so you get to enjoy something, and it doesn't leave you drowsy. It doesn't have melatonin in it. It's absolutely wonderful. So text me again if you're listening, 720-303-8868 on that. I can point you in the right direction. Limit your blue light blocking. Okay, your blue light rather. Get some of these crazy glasses. Who cares? They make some really cool ones now that are very stylish. Get yourself a pair, especially if you're one that has to spend your day in front of blue light. And I mean, I think everybody is doing that nowadays. Most people spend a good deal of their day in front of a screen. So make sure that you are supporting your circadian rhythm by getting light in the morning to be able to help you get on the right path with your cortisol levels. They're supposed to be spiking in the morning, right? The light on your face, that is what starts your circadian rhythm off. And you want to limit your blue light and, of course, have a dark room. Also, high protein. Right? High protein eating prevents those blood sugar issues, that insulin resistance that we've talked about. And that can prevent you from waking up in the middle of the night like you do, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I know it's happening to you. You want to prevent it by eating high protein. Get the carbohydrates down to a dull roar, right? Minimum. That will definitely help when it comes to sleep. You don't have to take sleep aids. It is a communication from your body if you're not sleeping. It's a communication. It's not to be overlooked. It will turn into something else. I'm not trying to spread fear, but I'm saying these forms of communication, they will turn into something else because the body whispers before it screams. Okay? Anxiety and stress. So instead of over-the-counter calming pills, or a lot of people also use alcohol or even nicotine or smoking to relieve anxiety. There's a wonderful stress complex that I love, that I highly recommend. Things like adaptogens, ashwagandha, rhodelia, holy basil, L-theanine. This all promotes calm and focus. And of course, your methylated Bs. Right? Your multivitamin with a methylated B complex that supports your neurotransmitters. Okay? Very, very important. For colds and flus, instead of reaching for your NyQuil or your Dayquil or what have you, elderberry syrup, vitamin C. I've got a wonderful chewable vitamin C. We've got wonderful elderberry products. Zinc, of course, because that will stop viral replication. Hydration, hydrate, rest, sunlight, heartburn and acid reflux. Lots of great remedies for that. See you tomorrow, everybody. 3 o'clock, Naturally Inspired Radio.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, Explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. NaturallyInspiredRadio.com.